Hi, my name is Amanda. Welcome to Crocheting with King. In this series, I read Stephen King books and crochet. It's that simple. It's also that complicated because I am reading through an extended Dark Tower reading list, we will call it. The normal Dark Tower books are 7 and kind of an extra one because The Wind Through the Keyhole is considered to be a Dark Tower book, but it's not part of the 7 main books. But then I'm reading an extended list that includes 30-something books. I haven't counted the whole thing because it's not all books. Some of them are short stories. There's even a poem in there. And so they're not all books. However, the majority of them are. So if you're just joining me, go back and start at the beginning to at least skip it if you don't care about the crochet, to skip and see what I thought so far of the books that I have read. But there have been quite a few so far. And now I am about to start Needful Things. This book is so big. I don't know anything about this. I said to my husband, I was like, I think this has something to do with a shop. It's got Elvis Presley on the cover. What? I'm so confused by this. But anyway, I think it's got something to do with a store where you buy things. That's exactly what a store is. So we got this old picture of Stephen King on the back. I don't know when, his wife took it. Photo by Tabitha King, it says. I don't know when this book was written because I'm not reading the books in chronological order. Oh, I love it. At the beginning, we have this. Okay, so I have no idea, of course. Like I go into almost every Stephen King book with having no idea. However, I'm going to put it up here on the shelf. And it's going to stay there. If you notice that in the background of all of my videos, I always have the current Stephen King book is always up here just because the top shelf on both sides are all of the Stephen King. Not quite all of them, but I only have a couple more to add up there. And so I try to keep whichever one I'm currently reading facing out that way just because I think it's fun to do it. And I'm ready to get started with that. I'm ready to get going on this blanket. I am a little frustrated with it right now, but I have taken some time, I have rested, and I am ready to go and get going again. So I will check back in usually when I'm halfway through, unless something really crazy happens that I want to talk about. Otherwise, I'll see you when I'm halfway through Needful Things. Well, hello, and I don't know why I said that, like I'm surprised. I wanted to come talk about it, and I also wanted to talk about my crochet project. This is what it looked like when I started Needful Things. Then, when I was only about 5% of the way through with this book, this is what it looked like. Yes, I unraveled the whole project. If you crochet or knit, then maybe you just understand when things are just not working out and it wasn't looking the way I wanted it to. Some of the rows I loved. Like I loved those crocodile stitches. I thought those were great. Some of the other rows I thought looked really good, but it was getting to the point, the pattern, it said it was an untested pattern, which I've done untested patterns before, and I just thought, well, I can, fix this when it's messed up. And I had already fixed a few rows that I had found were messed up, but it got to the point where I wasn't fixing them, I guess, well enough. So when I laid it out, there was a lot of ripples in it because there would be too many, it doesn't matter. You guys don't care, but it was not working the way I wanted it to work. And I had gotten another pattern that looks like it's going to be beautiful. And so anyway, I started with that. And now that I'm halfway through with the book, here's where I am after I unraveled, which took almost 4 hours, and started on the new pattern. This is where I am. So I'm on round 14 right now, and I'm almost exactly 50% of the way through with the book. So I wanted to come talk about the book. First of all, non-spoilery thoughts. Needful Things is the name of I'm going to call it curio shop that opens in this small town, and the proprietor, whose name is Leland Gaunt, sells anything that you could want. And maybe whatever your deepest, darkest desires are, he sells. And in exchange for you buying this thing, he will give you a very good deal monetarily, and then he'll ask you to play a trick. And that's it. That's all I can say so far, non-spoilery, and that's all I know so far. So, now let's talk about some spoilery stuff right quick. Nettie Cobb and Wilma Jerzyk have just killed each other. And oh my gosh, I was like, these old ladies, one of them's got a hatchet. Like, I was blown away by the two of them just straight up destroying each other and then laying there and bleeding out on top of each other. Anyway, I don't have a ton of other spoilery thoughts except, I mean, of course, Leland Gaunt has to be evil in some kind of way, right? Like a demonic kind of evil, not just evil, because he knows things about people that just like normal people should know. So he has to be like supernaturally evil. Also, Alan, the sheriff, has not been able to meet him yet because Leland keeps making sure that they don't meet, and now I'm concerned that maybe Alan will recognize him, maybe from a previous place that he lived or something. I don't know. I know that Leland said he didn't want to meet Alan because Alan is not the kind of person I can't even remember what he said, but like Alan wouldn't be able to take a deal or see a deal, which means Alan wouldn't be able to be persuaded like everybody else is. And he gave Polly, Alan's girlfriend, is her name Polly? Yeah. He gave Polly the little bead thing that makes her not hurt, makes the arthritis in her hands not hurt. But he didn't ask her to do anything yet. Maybe that's coming. I don't know, but I'm hoping that since Alan seems to be able to withstand him or whatever, that's why he doesn't want to meet Alan, that Alan will be able to defeat him. But I'm a little concerned about Alan's little deputy because his hand just got caught in a rat trap that he thinks was left there by, what's the councilman's name? Oh, his name's Keaton because they call him Buster. He thinks that it was left there by Buster Keaton, but it wasn't. And Keaton thinks that all the pink slips left all over his house were left there by the deputy, but they weren't. They were actually left there by Nettie because that was her trick that she had to play. And anyway, I can understand you thinking that you're playing a trick on somebody when you throw mud at some sheets in somebody's backyard. But it's not playing a trick on somebody when you go in their house and you kill their dog. Like, that changes the whole thing. And so I feel like it's some kind of hypnosis. Also because, like, the boy said he kept getting the trick that he was supposed to play came to him in his dreams. So I think there's some kind of hypnosis going on. And then he's able to, like, talk to them again and say, like, hey, here's what I want you to do, or remember what I asked you to do. And then there's just the maintenance guy whose whole job is to just watch the sheriff and report to Leland about it. So I don't know what's going on with this shop, but it is clearly not good. So I'm going to keep reading and keep crocheting, and I promise not to start over again. At least I better not. I gotta have this done by February. So I am gonna keep going with both projects, and I'll report back in when I finish Needful Things. I have finished Needful Things. So first, let's talk about where I am on the blanket. I have finished round 38. This is going so much better than the last one. And there are more like tutorial videos that it sends me to if there's something I don't understand. There's just a lot more explanations for this one, and I really like how it's going. A lot of the different stitches are easier, and I like this blanket more than the other one. And I'm excited about how it's looking as we go around. These stitches, like I said, are not difficult to do, and I'm getting a lot of reading done because I'm excited about the crocheting and I'm excited about the book. So here we go. Needful Things. First of all, non-spoilery. This book is about a town called Cape something. Sorry, it's called Castle Rock, not Cape. And I haven't read the other books that took place in Castle Rock, but apparently Cujo must have, because he talks about a dog that killed people. And he makes reference to maybe another book that took place in Castle Rock, but apparently I haven't read them. And I don't know that it gave anything away, like I already knew Cujo was about a dog that killed people. So anyway, this one is about Castle Rock. It says the last Castle Rock novel. So maybe there's not any more books set in Castle Rock after Needful Things. I don't know. But anyway, this one is pretty big. It was 25 hours on audio. It is, for this edition of the paperback, it has 731 pages. So it's pretty big. Although I think this is like average size for Stephen King books. But anyway, this book is about Castle Rock, Maine, and a store shows up in town, a new store called Needful Things. It has a nice little awning and a nice sign out front. And you go inside and there's a nice man working there whose name is Leland Gaunt. And he has all kinds of stuff in this shop, like all kinds of things. And weirdly enough, he has just exactly what you could possibly want. Like the thing that you desire above everything else, he has it in his shop. And it is all reasonably priced, provided that you do one small favor or play one small trick on someone in town. That's it. Then you can have the item that you most desire. So that's what the book is about. And I don't know what else to say without having spoilers in it, but things happen from there, and maybe the tricks aren't as innocent as people like to think they are, and people end up getting hurt and people end up dying, which of course they do because this is a Stephen King book. Now, for the spoilers. We're going to jump all the way to the end to talk about these spoilers. So first of all, I was so upset when the guy who works at the school, who was dating the Christian girl who also works at the school, maybe she's a speech therapist or something. Anyway, I was so upset about the two of them because I really wanted them to decide they were going to be together and not listen to the other nonsense that Leland was having everybody else do. When she got the letter that was a picture of him and a girl in a bar, and why would she just believe that without talking to him? I wanted her to go to him and for them to figure out what was going on. I loved so much the police officer, the one that had the fishing rod, that he was about to kill himself. And then he was like, no, I can fix this. I was part of what happened and I did have something to do with what happened, but I can help fix this as well. And he was able to fight off, and so was Polly. So I really liked that both of them were able to fight off the influence and kind of come back to help. Poor Alan. When Alan was in the store at the end and that VCR was in there and the voice in his head was like, don't watch it, don't watch it. That's what I was saying. I was like, don't watch this video. Please don't watch this video. But it was such a good book, I thought. I really liked the way it ended and it wrapped up. And I like that sometimes, even in the middle of everybody killing everybody and people that I wanted to live dying, we still get what feels to me like a happy ending. We still get Polly and Alan coming together at the end and being okay. Eventually they will be okay. I hate that the thing for Polly was physical pain that she was being relieved of, and then that's what came back on her, because for a lot of the rest of them, it didn't seem to be that much of a relief. Like whatever their thing was that they wanted to get wasn't giving them physical relief from pain like Polly's was. And so I hated that she had to take that off. Also, how creepy was that spider coming after her? Like, nope. I thought, I don't even want to see this in a movie, which I don't know if there's a movie for this or not, but that is what we're doing. As we finish reading them, my husband and I are watching the movies that go along with them. So I will watch the movie and just hope that the spider part is not in there. What else? I think that's it. I really liked this book. I really like the way Stephen King writes small towns. I think he does such a good job of making us feel like we're in the small town. And so I am going to start my next book, which is Insomnia, which also is in a small town. Where is it? This one. It's about the same length, it looks like. Oh, I don't know. It actually looks shorter, but I don't know. They're pretty much the same. They have the same picture on the back of Stephen King. And so I know nothing about this except I'm guessing somebody can't sleep. But that's all I know. And this will be coming up next. Thank you so much for watching this. Thank you for following along with my crochet project. I know there was a big twist this time where I started out on row 70 of one blanket and now I'm ending up on row 39 of a completely different blanket. But we will continue with the same blanket into Insomnia, and I will see you in that video. Thanks for watching. Bye.